Hey guys, this is minimum plant watering system, so we don't have to worry about killing plants when going on a holiday. So I'll show you how it works. Okay, so I'm going to turn the water pump on. It'll deliver some water every some regular interval, and that's it. Cool. All right, I'll show you how it works. So to do this, you will need Arduino Uno, 5-volt relay module, water pump, battery, tubing, and so on. So most of these components come from this kit I bought, which is Ilugu starter kit. But I did have to buy the relay module, which is the blinking bit here, and the water pump. Um, and also batteries were some batteries, and that's relatively easy to buy. Okay, so how does it work? So a bit of an introduction to Uno. It's a micro controller. What that does, it provides some sort of signal, and you can use it for many electronic purposes. I'm not trying to say too much because there are tons and tons of videos on what Arduino can do. Okay, so we have the power from battery, and then this pin number 8 is the one that is blinking. So that provides signal at regular interval. At the moment, what I have is 2 seconds on and 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, right? Okay, so that is the basic of the delivering water. The rest is extra detail we need to make sure the whole system works. Okay, so the issue is here that the water pump requires a bit of a high voltage, so it cannot be directly supplied from this Arduino. So we had to make extra changes to enable high power, and that comes from a second part, the top part of this video, the circuit. This is what high power, kind of high power does. Okay, so let's start from the Arduino side. It's very simple. To power this module, this is the relay module. What that does, it takes input here and it gives you output here, right? So it will require a low voltage input and it will convert, not convert, but it will close the circuit such a way that other high input, such as coming from the wall socket, can be powered through from a small voltage microcontroller. So very simply, what the relay module does, it's actually an on and off toggle switch, as you can see here, right? So there are two types of relay module, normally on and normally off, or normally closed, normally open. What I have is 5-volt, normally closed one. So by default behavior is closing the circuit here, right? So this is a very simple diagram. It's not even electrically accurate. So basically, you have this 5-volt battery, that is the electric current going through, right? And connecting back to the negative terminal. So in the normally closed mode, this circuit or this little switch is always closed, hence the normally closed, right? So as a result, this circuit is always closed. So if you have some load or some other bit, that will be always complete and you will always have this signal. When we have a slow input signal from Arduino, what the relay module does, it actually closes this gap here, which is normally like is open, right? So it's not connected. So electrons or protons cannot go through this part. But upon signal, there is a magnet in the relay that will attract this little pin, which is normally closed, to this part. Now what we have is circuit closing this way, right? And this is where our water pump or any other work or load you can put here, and it will complete the circuit as I shown here. So that's how the relay works, really. Again, there are lots of videos to explaining this part, so I will keep it brief. And back to the video again. So this is what is happening. This is the low orange one wire. It's a low voltage signal, and the rest positive negative is just to power up the relay module. So the positive negative, the red and the brown one, powering up, and number 8 pin, which I have programmed to give signal at regular interval, and that's what's happening. Okay, so on the outside part, again, there are 3 different outputs, right? left, middle, and the right one. So if you read closely, that is NC, which is normally closed. This is the part which is going to be closed always by default, right? And then there is a blue bar. I'll explain that in a second. And then there is an NO, if you can read it, which is open. So depending on the relay module, you want to wire it properly. So, okay, so what's happening here, it's the blue wire is the negative terminal or the ground. And the positive signal, it's what happens when the electric magnet is on, and it will complete the circuit. Okay, so this is going to be hard for me to explain as well, but I'll try. Okay, so first of all, we need to complete this is going to be okay. So a couple of things are happening here. This is something called a breadboard. It's a very easy way to try out different circuits. Again, there'll be many videos explaining how this works. Very shortly, what I have here is I don't want to kill the battery or my pump as well. So even though this is a 9-volt battery, I'm reducing the power to 5 volt using this module, which is called the power module. It just steps down from 9 volt to 5 volt. And then I can use my normal testing on the breadboard. Okay, so very quickly, the way the breadboard works is this is the input wire, the power up, and this little holes are connected in a particular way. So for example, here positive one, because it's outside this little gap, it is connected in a row way. So this is all connected. So it doesn't really matter where you put the plug in, they all are connected via one wire. And similarly for the negative one as well. So what this enables us is to have multiple inputs for the circuit from multiple different ports or wires or whatever. One important thing that even though the breadboard says positive top and negative bottom, because we are using a power module, we have to follow their rule. And in this power module, the positive one is actually on the bottom and the negative one is on the top. Okay, so let's start this simple. So what first of the thing I have done is let's focus on this wire, right? So this is, we are drawing a power which is positive, and we are literally putting that into our circuit to test, right? So the important thing here, that once you are past this point, all these little columns here, they are connected in a column way. So all these points are electrically same. So think about parallel and series connection, right? So this is going to be all parallel. They all are connected. So if you look at the underneath, there'll be one cable connecting all of them, which is quite different from these guys, where one cable connects them in a row versus column. So that's important distinction. Okay, so let's come back to our power. So first of all, we need to close a circuit, right? So we're going to take a power from outside. I'm going to put that into one of our circuit to try, right? So this is what this wire does. We're going to draw it from the positive and then put it to one of these cables or columns, right? Okay, what's happening afterwards? And I'm going to finish it off with a circuit closing. Okay, so now this is connected. Okay, cool. So the second wire is coming from the relay. What that does is when we have the on mode, this one will be connected here. So as a result, this circuit will be connected when there is a signal from Arduino, right? So what's happening so far, we're taking a current or power from the battery, putting it together, and this will be connected when there is a pulse, right? So, okay, so electrons or protons, depending on traditional views, it's actually electron nowadays, obviously. Okay, so that's going to go from this current to this little part in the circuit. Okay, so when we have a signal, these two will be connected electrically, right? So the protons I'll keep saying proton because there's a traditional way of saying it. In fact, it is the electron that move. But anyway, so okay, when this is complete, this circuit is complete. So now electrons can jump from this part to this part, no problem. And it's going to go into this follow blue cable, right? So it's going to go here. So this is our binary on and off switch, correct? Now, when that is done, it's very straightforward afterwards. We just need to provide the power to the battery, to our pump, sorry. So that is wire for the pump cable. And then it's going to do the work and it will come back with a negative. So that is that. And after that is done, we're going to just close the circuit. So again, these parts are electrically connected. And we're going to close the loop by putting it to the common negative port, and it will flow there, go back to our little battery, and everyone is happy. Circle is closed. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not working here at the moment because I have turned this off. So everything is functional now. So if I turn it on, the whole system should work. So let's try that. Cool. Hopefully this all makes sense, and hopefully you can play with this and keep your plants alive. A disclaimer, I'm not an electrical engineer or anything with electronic. This is my first Arduino project. So you should consider seeking professional advice before you do anything with this project. It's a guideline. Thank you guys and good luck.